Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
We're going to continue with our unit on literature now. This is the third installment, and in today's edition, we're going to talk about the novel itself, and we're not going to summarize the plot. We already did that on the first day, but today we're going to talk about some of the themes and ideas that are pretty profound in this work of literature, and they might make you interested in reading it yourself.Yeah,
I love movies or books that feature really great friendships and loyalty. And also we're going to look at what pride or how pride affected their friendship as well. So let's get started. We're going to read through today's article and then we'll be back. The core theme in The Three Musketeers is the friendship between D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. It gets off to a rocky start when D'Artagnan unintentionally causes offense to each of them, and each one challenges him to a duel. At the appointed time of the first duel, D'Artagnan is surprised to see Porthos and Aramis as Athos's helpers. As they begin to fight, they're caught by 5 of the cardinal's guards and threatened with arrest, as dueling is illegal. The musketeers consider fighting the guards, but decide 3 against 5 wouldn't be a fair fight. D'Artagnan joins them, however, and the 4 are victorious. After that, D'Artagnan becomes the 4th member of the inseparable group of friends. Their friendship only grows as they fight common enemies and face dangerous situations together. The theme of pride also plays an important role in the novel. The heroes don't take any perceived slight or insult lightly. They have hot tempers, and the first interaction between D'Artagnan and the other musketeers causes them to impulsively challenge him to a duel to the death. Wounded pride also plays a role in the revenge-seeking actions of D'Artagnan and Milady during their bitter relationship. Loyalty is another central theme of The Three Musketeers. Not only are the 4 heroes loyal to each other in dueling, but they also take turns financially supporting each other in difficult times. They risk their lives taking dangerous journeys out of allegiance to their king, queen, and country. D'Artagnan also offers his 3 friends the Cardinal's lieutenant commission before accepting it himself, but they each refuse it out of devotion to and respect for their friend.
Okay, as we promised, we're going to talk about some of the themes and ideas in The Three Musketeers, which again is our featured novel for the month of May. So the core theme in The Three Musketeers, or the base theme, the basic theme, the main theme of this book.
The primary theme.
There you go. And that's the friendship between these 4 fellas, these four guys who are named D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. I hope I said that right. So they were kind of enemies at the beginning, but they later became friends. And so that's kind of the core theme, the main idea of this book, their friendship.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Well, as you know, and as we've told you, if you've been paying attention, their friendship gets off to a rocky start. This is a phrase we use when we're talking about something in a long process having a really difficult beginning. So if something gets off to a rocky start, just means you're having problems. It's not going smoothly. And as you recall, or as you may recall, or maybe you don't recall, D'Artagnan offended the 3 friends there, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, at the beginning. But he didn't mean to do it, though. It was an accident.
Right. So maybe, for example, the first time you met your girlfriend's parents, it did not get off well. It got off to a rocky start. You didn't stand up when she came in the room. You did not use the proper language to address your girlfriend's mother or father.
You should probably talk about what you mean when you say you didn't stand up when they entered the room. Who's that?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe you were sitting at the table and then your girlfriend's mother came in the room. And in some cultures, when a lady enters the room, a gentleman is supposed to stand up. You don't continue sitting at the table.
It looks rude, yeah.
It looks rude. Or maybe, when you were leaving the house, you walked through the door first and didn't let her go first. In Western countries, you're supposed to let the lady go first, etc. So, yeah, your relationship with your girlfriend's mother got off to a rocky start, but later when you learned the rules, hopefully things got better. So in this particular case, D'Artagnan, he unintentionally caused offense to each of those three guys there. Remember, he insulted them, but it was unintentional. So unintentional is the adjective here. It just means you didn't mean to do it, but you did it anyway. You didn't know the rules, you didn't understand, you weren't paying attention or something like that. And so we're using this in the adverb form because it's modifying cause here. Unintentionally caused offense. Offense means insult. He caused them to lose face. He's from the country. Maybe he used some form of the French language that was considered rude to people from the city, and they took offense to what he said. They were offended. They were insulted. And so as a result, each one of them challenged him to a duel. We're not going to let you get away with that. You can't insult us and get away with it. So we need to challenge you to a duel. We're going to have a fight to the death.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, if you were paying close attention, you noticed that you can cause offense or take offense, which is the opposite of causing offense. You're the one who's offended if you take offense, and if you're actually the one who insults or does something annoying or rude to somebody else, you're causing offense. You can also be offensive to someone, or be offended is the person who has their feelings hurt or that are annoyed by something that someone has done to them. So it's not the same for both sides. So you got to learn the correct forms of the words and the verbs that we use for those. So take a little time to learn those. Those are worth it. We use offense and offended quite often, actually, especially in our culture today. So they each challenged D'Artagnan to a duel. Doesn't seem fair to me. It's like 3 against 1 here. And back then, as we've mentioned in earlier programs, they would either try to kill each other with a sword or with a musket, which was kind of an inaccurate type of rifle back then. It was hard to actually hit the person you were pointing your musket at. So at the appointed time of the first duel, duels were always held early in the morning. That was just the rule. It was illegal, so you had to find a place where there weren't many people around, because if they reported you, you could go to prison just for having a duel. There were too many duels back then, and so the government tried to outlaw them, tried to get people from not, challenging each other to a duel. It was always men who would challenge other men to a duel. So at the appointed time of the first duel, D'Artagnan is surprised to see Porthos and Aramis as Athos' helpers. Athos' helpers. It doesn't seem fair when he's ganged up on, meaning there are more people fighting you than there are people helping you. So as they begin to fight, they're caught by 5 of the cardinal's guards. Remember Cardinal Richelieu, who is a bad dude. They're caught by his guards and threatened with arrest. As I said earlier, dueling was illegal back then. It's still illegal, actually, today.
And the musketeers consider fighting the guards but decide 3 against 5 wouldn't be a fair fight. So the Musketeers thought, hey, let's fight those guards, but it's 3 against 5. We'll probably lose. It would not be a fair fight. But then D'Artagnan said, I guess he said, well, I can join you, and then it would be 4 against 5. It would be a little better that way. So then it says he decided to join them, however, and the 4 are victorious. So I guess 4 against 5 in that case emerged victorious. They won the battle there, and they got away with dueling. And because they decided to join forces, they became the best of friends. After that, they became fast friends, as we said earlier.
Yeah, it tells us right here that the Musketeers are pretty good at fighting, right? I'm sure some of you have friends that are really good at fighters and some that aren't. The 3 Musketeers were really good. So was D'Artagnan. So after that, it changed their relationship a lot. It says here that D'Artagnan became the 4th member of the 3 Musketeers. And from then on, they were inseparable. If you're inseparable, it just means people who are always hanging out together. I had 2 friends when I was growing up, and we were inseparable. We were always together. I had other friends, but these 2 were my best friends. And you could say we were actually called the 3 Musketeers by my mom, who thought we were always hanging out together and not probably doing enough at home with the chores and stuff. So you might have some friends that are people that you consider to be, sort of your musketeers, your group of friends. Their friendship only grows. Only grows just means because it started bad, but it just gets better and better with time. Only grows as they fight common enemies. We add the only there, guys, because it just emphasizes that it grows pretty rapidly. So you could leave it out entirely, but if you put only grows there, it actually emphasizes that it grows quickly as they fight common enemies and face dangerous situations together. So right now, we're going to take a quick break, listen to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 今天的重点在介绍3节课的重要主题。第一个要介绍的是 friendship。在第一段的第2个句子提到 It gets off to a rocky start when D'Artagnan unintentionally causes offense to each of them, and each one challenges him to a duel. 在这里的 it 指的就是友谊，他们呢之间的友谊一刚开始就不太稳固，我们可以说 get off to a rocky start， 路上呢很多的石头走得不太平稳，因为当时达泰安无心的冒犯了他们每个人，而每一个人都要求跟他决斗。我们来看一下 unintentionally， 它的字根 intention， 也就是有意图、打算的意思。如果你有意图打算去做什么事情，你可以用 to 加上原形动词补充说明。譬如说，我根本不想骗你，你就可以说 It wasn't my intention to fool you。所以在这里加上 un， 后面又有一个 ally， 就是一个呢解释成为无心的意思的副词 unintentionally。而后面的 offense 当作名词，则是有冒犯或触怒的意思。举个例子来说，他说那句话并没有恶意，并不是想要冒犯你，你就可以说 She meant no offense by the remark。而他们都想要跟他决斗，我们就可以用 duel 这个字，它在这里当作是名词，有决斗跟抗争的意思。同样的拼法也可以当作不及物动词，与某人决斗，你就可以说 duel with somebody。接着在第一段中间的句子提到 As they begin to fight, they are caught by 5 of the cardinal's guards and threatened with arrest, as dueling is illegal. 当他们几个开始决斗的时候呢，就被枢机主教的5名卫兵抓到，因为当时决斗违法了，而且是被威胁要逮捕他们。正是因为这样子，所以他们就决定要团结在一起对抗这5个人。 第一段的最后一句提到 Their friendship only grows as they fight common enemies and face dangerous situations together. 这里提到的是，在他们跟共同敌人战斗以及一起面对危险情况的时候，他们的友谊呢就会变得更深厚。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, again today we're talking about some of the themes and ideas in The Three Musketeers. The core theme is friendship. We talked about how the Three Musketeers became friends with D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan initially insulted them, but later they were almost arrested by the guards of the cardinal, so they decided to join forces to defeat those guards, and after that they became the best of friends, and they had lots of adventures together. Now, let's go on to the next theme. The theme of pride also plays an important role in the novel. Pride, okay? Pride. You don't want to have your pride hurt. You don't want to lose face. So that, of course, is very important in this novel. If you're insulted by somebody, your pride says that you need to get that person back.
Yeah, which is really not a very good attitude to have, but it's hard. When your pride has been wounded or injured, we'll often use those two words to talk about someone who has had their pride hurt. So the heroes don't take any perceived slight or insult lightly, which means they're quick to be offended. Very easy to offend these people. And that's what happens if your pride is out of control, I think. So the theme of pride is an important part of the novel. Perceived here just means how you view things. It may not be the actual situation, but people perceive things differently. So it's similar to just saying everyone has their own point of view, right? The way they see things. So perceived slight. A slight is some sort of insult. Something someone's done to you that makes you feel annoyed or hurt or embarrassed or made you feel that you're less than you really are. Maybe they said something rude in front of a classroom of your fellow classmates and it makes you feel stupid. That's a slight.
Right, like an insult, especially when they don't recognize your superiority or something, so they don't take these lightly. If somebody comes up to you and says, hey, you've got a face that could stop a clock, well, that's an insult, and you can't take that lightly, so you're going to have to get that person back. They have hot tempers.
Yeah.
Which means they get angry easily. And the first interaction between D'Artagnan and the other musketeers causes them to impulsively challenge him to a duel to the death. So the first time they have an interaction, the first time they talk to D'Artagnan after he came to Paris from the countryside, they thought, well, he said something insulting to us, so we've got to challenge him to a duel. But it was impulsive. Impulsive is an adjective. It just means you do it without really thinking. You don't stop and reason through. You don't think, well, maybe he's from the country and he used a form of French that we don't use in Paris, so he didn't mean an insult. It was just a mistake. But they're impulsive here, and so they just don't think about that. So they challenge him to a duel. And also note that this is being used as an adverb because we have the verb challenge. So they impulsively challenged him to a duel. And of course, usually duels are to the death. You point guns at each other and you try to kill each other.
That's right. Well, that can get you in a lot of trouble. So it's best to not be so prideful. I think life is probably happier if you don't have so much pride. Moving on to the next sentence, it says wounded pride. Remember, I mentioned that your pride can be wounded or hurt. This wounded pride also plays a role in the revenge-seeking actions of D'Artagnan and Milady during their bitter relationship. So if something plays a role in something else, it just means it has a part in it. Hunger played a role in me overeating yesterday. I just was so hungry, I couldn't quit eating. So a lot of things can play a role in some activity that you're participating in. Here, remember, D'Artagnan and Milady really have a bad relationship. And it's because they're trying to seek revenge or get someone back for doing something to them. And that's often a way that your life can be turned into a mess. Don't think about revenge. If someone hurts your feelings, just let it go. Forgive them. Move on. Unfortunately, D'Artagnan and Milady couldn't do that. They had to keep trying to hurt each other for something that someone had done to them in the past. So here's the third theme, guys. Last paragraph. Loyalty. Loyalty's another central theme of the Three Musketeers. I love this word, loyalty. Loyalty is the noun form of the adjective loyal. If you are loyal to your friends, you always stand by them, you support them, you don't try to hurt them in any way. And if someone's mean to them, you are on their side. So that was a word we used, or a phrase we used a lot as kids. You know, you're on his side. You're on my side. So if you're on someone else's side, you're being disloyal and you're not supporting a friend. Yeah, if you're a good friend, you take sides. You always take the side of your friend.
Right. Loyal, of course, is the adjective and loyalty is the noun. A lot of people say the reason they like dogs is because dogs are loyal.
Yes.
They'll always be your friend. They will always come to you when you call them. People don't like cats because they aren't so loyal. Cats are more indifferent. They could care less about you. They couldn't care less about you. But dogs, they love you. They'll always be there for you, so they are loyal. So loyalty, as a noun here, is another theme of the Three Musketeers, along with pride and friendship here. So, for example, not only are the four heroes loyal to each other in dueling, but they also take turns financially supporting each other in difficult times. So they financially support each other. If one of the musketeers is a little short on cash, one of the other ones will step in. Here, I can lend you some money. I'm sure you can pay me back when you have more money and when I'm having financial difficulties. So they take turns. Take turns means one day you do it and the next day you do it. Like when doing chores in the house, I'm sure you had this in your house. It's your turn to take out the trash today, and it's my turn to wash the dishes.
Right. So you hear that a lot too growing up. It's my turn. It's his turn. We need to take turns. You're not sharing. So they were really good friends in that way. They would help each other in difficult financial times. They also risked their lives taking dangerous journeys out of allegiance to the king, queen, and country. So they were good patriots. They loved their king and queen. I guess back then they felt like their king and queen were good people. They're not always, are they? Allegiance just means loyalty or commitment to someone, usually to someone who is a superior of yours, or it could be loyalty to your country. Allegiance. We have something that we say every morning, especially in elementary school in the United States, called the Pledge of Allegiance. And we all stand up and put our hands on our heart, look at the flag of the United States, and pledge that we will always be loyal, always be good to our country. We won't become traitors and hurt our country. Well, D'Artagnan also offers his three friends the Cardinal's Lieutenant Commission. Remember, the Cardinal was so impressed with D'Artagnan, he wanted to make him a lieutenant in their military, which was really a nice role, and also some money came with it. And D'Artagnan was willing to give it away to his friends.
Indeed. So that, again, is all part of loyalty here. He offers his three friends the Cardinal's Lieutenant Commission before accepting it himself. Well, you guys take it. I'm not deserving. That's kind of humility there. But he's also being loyal to his friends by offering them the position first, the commission or the position. That's what that means here. But they each refuse it out of devotion and respect for their friend. Oh, no, I'm not deserving. You should have it. After all, the king offered you you that commission. You should take that commission. You deserve it. So it's out of devotion. Devotion just means you're loyal to that person. You're hopelessly devoted to somebody, just like you're devoted to your husband or your wife or whatever. You're always going to be there for them. So they are loyal friends, and it's also out of respect for their friend. And so, yeah, these guys look like they're best of friends. They're buddies for life, and that's one reason why you should consider reading this novel. So maybe you could have friends like these. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation. Here comes our Chinese teacher.
第二个，这本小说里面谈论的重要主题是 pride， 我们在这里解释成为自尊心。第二段的第二个句子提到 The heroes don't take any perceived slight or insult lightly。在这里讲到呢，这些主角是不会轻易的接受察觉到的轻视或者是侮辱。Perceive 在这里用 VPP 的形式来表达，表示呢是可以让被别人察觉到或感知到的。我们来看一下 perceive 的用法，它就是跟一般感官动词一样，看到人做什么动作，后面可以加原形动词。举例来说，我看到一个人走进这间房子，我就可以说 I perceived a man enter the house。所以呢，他们是非常有自尊心的。第二段的最后一句提到 Wounded pride also plays a role in the revenge-seeking actions of D'Artagnan and Milady during their bitter relationship。在这里提到的 wounded pride 指的是呢，这些已经受伤害的自尊心也扮演着重要的角色，有起到作用。在怎么样的当中呢？ In the revenge-seeking actions， 在充满着想要寻求报复的行动当中扮演着重要的角色，而这则是在达泰安跟 Milady 充满仇恨的关系当中起了作用。第三个要谈论的主题是 loyalty， 也就是忠诚。第三段的第二个句子提到 Not only are the four heroes loyal to each other in dueling, but they also take turns financially supporting each other in difficult times。所以这四位主角呢，不仅在决斗当中对彼此忠诚，保护着对方，而且还 take turns， 轮流在艰困的时候提供金钱、财务上面的资助。最后，我们来看到文章的最后一句 D'Artagnan also offers his three friends the Cardinal's lieutenant commission before accepting it himself.But they each refuse it out of devotion to and respect for their friend. 达泰安呢，在自己接受枢机主教副队长的委任书之前呢，也提议要把这样的委托书给3名友人，但是这些友人出于对他的忠诚跟尊敬，都拒绝接受这样的委任书。OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Okay, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. We hope you enjoyed our explanation, but we hope you enjoy the novel, The Three Musketeers, even more, and we hope we have encouraged you to try to read it yourself. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.